Uh, what is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here at Flex Training Systems, and 37 billion in the Flex chat. You guys are the Flex chat now in the Twitch chat. And today, I don't really give out messages to other coaches unless they like kind of ask me personally or if I'm working with them one on one. But my man, here I'll just show you guys. Alberto Nunez. I've known him for about 5 years now. Been talking to him a lot recently, and this is not a new thing that he said, but this is something that 3DMJ like periodically will bring to light. And I thought today I would use my sort of platform to take what he said, and just kind of amplify that and share that with my lifters, my audience, you guys, powerlifters, right? 3DMJ, for those of you that don't know, they put out a lot of information, just like how does your body interact with nutrition and training. So they're really useful for stuff like that. They work. I think they primarily do bodybuilders, but they also or physique athletes, right? But they also do some. I think they definitely coach some powerlifters. I mean, as you can see here, that's one of their coaches doing powerlifting. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go through this list here. There's like four things. I'm gonna get deeper into it and just kind of talk about just advice for coaches, new coaches that want to come up, and people that think they want to coach. And then by the time we get to the end of this video, I guarantee there's gonna be some of you that don't you don't want to do it anymore after you're hearing what I have to say. And some of that you will have control over, and some of that you don't have control over. I mean, it just is what it is. And you know, I feel like any time in life where you can get to the bottom of it, of whatever you're pursuing, and discover whether or not you want to do that thing or not, you're gonna put your time into things that you like. For example, we all go to school, and like, let's say your parents have a vision for you to become a doctor, and while you're pursuing becoming a doctor, you realize along the way you actually hate it, right? You hate the process, but you discover other things, or maybe you meet somebody else that teaches you a whole new appreciation for something, right? So hopefully, maybe if you're one of those people that kind of wants to do it and you're on the fence, this can kind of help you really do some soul searching and figure it out. So the first thing, I'm just going to go ahead and read it. To all new online coaches in the midst of this internet fitness gold rush, I propose the following advice. Only work with those who are qualified to do. Only work with those you're qualified to. Okay, yeah. To be honest with yourself as to what this is, since your best work will be done in a sector that you have the most tools for. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen a high-level lifter with an underqualified coach, and in my mind, there's many times in my life. I mean, some of you guys that have been following me for a really long time, you guys know that I used to be like literally one of the best, yes, I'm gonna go there, Yu-Gi-Oh players on the planet. Like, literally, I was definitively one of them. I actually beat 2 world champions in one event, but that's neither here nor there. You guys could look it up if you want. And my brain, I'll never forget, there are so many scenarios. I'll never forget, I was at this one regional, and I'm playing this kid, and he's 7-0. We're both undefeated, 7-0. And I could tell he was so nervous. And there was one situation where I remember thinking in my mind, if he would just do this, I lose right here and now. If he does this, I'm out, right? He's going to beat me right now. And then they don't do that, and then I take advantage, and I win. But then at the end of the day, I go, that was just an experience. They should have won. The same thing in powerlifting. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen either, literally directly competing against me or competing against somebody else, and I'm just kind of following the situation. Maybe there's lifters in an earlier flight, and I have primetime lifters after, and I need to watch another matchup just so I can kind of like scout and figure out what I need to do. There have been times where I will literally think to myself, oh, all that coach needs to do is do this, and they win. Like, that's all they need to do. Maybe their opposition pulled a grinder second attempt. There's no way, they're going to be able to put any more on top of that. And then I'll think, okay, this guy, all he's got to do is jump 5 kilos. He wins. He's going to pull that. The other guy's going to struggle, bomb out, and then, or not bomb out, just miss, and then he's going to win, right? And then I'll see them, like, they'll jump, like, fit something stupid, right? I mean, it's not stupid, it's just ignorant. Like you just didn't know, or you just don't have the experience to judge correctly yet. And then that guy pulls, they're ahead. Instead of just taking the small jump and winning, even though they're pulling after you, they'll pull something dumb and then you miss, and then that guy just wins, right? So you gotta work with people that you're qualified to work for. Now, in the short term, if you're a coach that you have like a super strong lifter, you have no idea what you're doing, but you're coaching a guy that just likes you, and you just so happen to be in a position where they're like, I don't know, in prime time, or they're competing at a high level, and you're just bad, like they're just bad, right? In the short term, I think like obviously that's gonna hurt you both, right? The lifter they're gonna fail, right? Because we're painting this scenario, we're talking about inexperience, right? But in the long term, you know, that coach is gonna learn from that lifter's mistakes, and they might be able to over time just by like really messing up. They're gonna miss some opportunities, right? You're not gonna qualify for meets. There's gonna be problems, but eventually over time, hopefully, they'll be learning from each mistake. They'll be learning from whatever problems, right? And then they can, if they really 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 work hard and they're really passionate about it and they're doing research and they're just you know when they make a mistake, say, okay, why did we miss? Did I make a problem? Did I make a mistake? Did I put a number on the bar I shouldn't have? Am I working them too hard in their training? Am I programming wrong? Am I doing this wrong? Am I implementing bad accessory movements? There's so many other different am I not looking at outside variables? There's so many other factors, right? Um, in the short term, I think that can really screw you up, especially if, let's say, you screw up with that lifter and you don't fix it the next couple times, and then they end up leaving you, go to another coach, and then that coach thrives with them. I have been on the positive side of that. I'm not going to name any names, but I mean, if you guys just look at some of my like super strong lifters and like who they were with before, just constant mistake, 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 and then they come to me and it's like boom, like 9 for 9, boom, world records, whatever. um, that really hurts the other guy, right? And that doesn't mean they can't bounce back from that. But people are gonna see that. And it's all, I mean, social media, people forget, right? Like you could really, really mess up, and everybody that's watching that is gonna remember that. But new people are gonna come in. You can kind of like get out of it, and try to rebuild your reputation or whatever. But your reputation is everything. It is literally everything. So I would say, if you can work with people that you could do well with, while you kind of learn a little bit here and there, and then you're increasing your experience level and you're applying what you learn to your lifters, and you do better and better and better over time. Eventually you're going to get it. Eventually you're going to be able to compete at a high level, and eventually you can build notoriety and reputation. But it is extremely hard. Not everyone's going to be like me and just have a world champion like right after they start coaching, right? So you're gonna have to like build up from there. And I do believe it can cause you harm if you have someone that's super popular and you're constantly messing up, consistently messing up with them. I mean, you're just tarnishing your reputation and you're doing more harm than good. And this might not be something that you want to work to get better in, because it's going to take everything. It's going to take all of your attention. It's going to take passion. It's going to, you're going to literally to engulf yourself in becoming better in order to really thrive in that space, right? Because like I said, if you start out with a bad reputation and you keep going, I mean, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and you might not be able to like remedy out of that, if that makes sense. I could keep going on this. One last example, like if you've only done a couple meets and there's someone who has not lifted before, like at all, and they want to get into powerlifting, that could be someone, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be someone you could coach or train. There's always going to be someone that's got less experience than you that you're qualified to work with, right? Obviously that amount of people is going to be smaller, but yeah, you got to be honest with yourself. And like I, as a coach, there are some scenarios where I will literally tell the lifter, I have a suggestion, but I don't know the exact reason why whatever you're experiencing is the way that it is. It's extremely rare that happens, but you always have to look in. You always have to look in, like, what did I do wrong or whatever. Even when I do good, I'm like, how did I like, what was good and what could I have done better, right? Um, you just gotta take it super serious, but like that's we'll get to that. Okay, so next, number 2, just like in the weight room, the best growth is sustainable growth. Work hard to blow up, but not so fast that that your demand supersedes your actual skills. I think there's like a couple different things to this. Initially, when I read it, it was like, a lot of lifters that want to get strong fast. They want to have PRs now. They want to, they want to compete at the highest level right now. They want to make prime time. They want to do nationals, all that stuff. Um, Obviously, if you get injured and you try to force things, that's not going to happen. There's infinity people that try to do like 3 times a week squat when they only need to do 2, and then they end up getting hurt, or they don't deload when they're supposed to because they don't want to. They're worried about losing strength, or they go in the gym, they feel bad, and they don't want to accept how they feel, so they max out or they force something and then they snap something up, right? That's just like, you'll learn over time. You're not going to last long in the sport if you're not staying objective and observing yourself and learning from your mistakes, you're not gonna last, right? But I like that next part. So let's say we have an instance where a lifter, this is like super rare, but like a lifter's coaching someone, and that person, they just so happen to win, right? They happen to win a big meet, and they're, everybody sees it, and everybody's like, or they're popular. They're just popular. Like, they got a lot of followers. And a lot of people just see followers as credibility, which is totally not the case. But like, there's a lot of good coaches, or coaches I think are pretty decent, and they just have super small followings because nobody knows about them, right? Although in my opinion, in time they will, the cream rises to the top. And as a result of that, you will gain followers, right? Because obviously you have something that other people want and they cannot possess, therefore they follow you to perhaps learn how to be like you, right? That's kind of how it works. But if your demand supersedes your actual skills, you're going to have a ton of people that are interested in working with you, but you're not going to have the qualifications to do so. If you're a greedy mother fucker, fuck it, I'll just say it, you might take on all these people, and you have no idea what you're doing, and you're kind of just like, whatever, I'm getting paid, I don't care, who cares, right? And then, obviously over time, people are going to see that. They're not going to get results, and they're going to leave you. They're going to go somewhere else. So you want to work within your means. You want to deal with, very early on, I would ignore like years ago, I remember getting anxiety over, I would have so many emails. It wasn't that I couldn't work with them. Yeah, I could totally work with them. I was overqualified for these people, but I didn't want to work with more people than what I had, because I was sacrificing quality of life to grow the amount of lifters that I had, right? I was like, I'm losing my mind. Like, I can't enjoy my life because I'm working with so many people. The best thing I could have done for Flex was to take people that I've already invested years into and make them coaches, and then teach them things, and nurture them, and just build them up. If you just want to talk about money, it's literally tens of thousands of dollars that I left on the table, and I probably helped some other coach by not taking those people. But I mean, now I have more people, and I'm able to assign people a coach under the umbrella of Flex within their means. I know, like, it's not only the demand, but it's like, okay, I know how many lifters Will likes to work with. I know how many lifters Mikey likes to work with. If I get those young kids in high school, they want to get into powerlifting, and maybe they don't have a lot of money. Boom, I got my, I'm teaching my brother. He's perfect for that. He's so good with that scenario that I just laid out there, right? So like I said, not only are we taking the principles from the first thing, right? If I get someone that wants to be IPF world champion and they can actually do it, then they probably need to work with me. If I have someone that is brand new out of high school and they don't have a lot of money, boom, they can work with my brother. So you want to assign people the coach based on, based on their experience level. My monitor just blacked out on the left side, so I panicked there for a second. Did anybody notice that? Let me know if you did. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and I hope that gave you guys something. Number 3, learn to give a damn. This whole blog post could have been left at that. However, this is the most important skill or trait worth acquiring, in my opinion. I would like to challenge this and say that I don't even know that you can acquire this. Um, maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. I don't know if I can make someone a psychopath killer lifter that is willing to like sacrifice everything just to be super amazingly, min maxed, if that makes sense. Not everybody needs to do that. Powerlifting can be what it can be. For a lot of people, you're going to get the most out of powerlifting, and it's going to still fit within your means, within your life. Like, you're going to be able to be a great powerlifter and still be happy, with your life, as opposed to being super miserable, whatever. Um, but if you want to be a coach and you are not, like, you don't have a burning fire and passion for it, you will always, always, always lose out to somebody that does, right? I mean, you guys already know. Anytime you guys have seen me at big meets, I'm literally an uncontainable ball of energy. I don't need to pretend. I don't need to act. I just am how I am. And I don't. That's not lying. That's not bragging. I'm just like literally. I'm literally just telling you what I'm showing you, what you guys have already seen. I wouldn't be able to operate at this capacity if I wasn't passionate. And I don't know if someone can look at it and say, okay, if you're getting into coaching,
oh my God, I'm nuts.
Thank you for the follow, aka John. If you're getting into coaching because you just like want cheap money, you're going to lose to like. There's like, in my opinion, there's like five good coaching entities, like total, 5. All the people that are super serious are gonna end up there, right? They say masters of their craft all end up on the same road, or all go down the same path, right? We all meet at the top. We all meet at a certain place. There's very few people that are gonna break out of those lower ranks and get up there. Maybe there's some like here and there, right? Like branches of those 5. Like everyone that's relevant in like raw powerlifting right now, I mean, at least in the United States, most coaches either came from that branch, right? So they were coached by one of those 5 and they broke off and they're doing something positive on their own, or it's those 5. So if you aren't passionate, that lifter that you're half-assing is gonna see that, because their passion is gonna exceed yours, which to me is like nuts, right? And they're gonna end up going to one of those super passionate people. They're gonna match the energy, right? Now, a lot of times my lifters will say that sometimes Joey cares about my lifting more than I do. I mean, Russ literally said that on a podcast recently, and that's perfectly fine. That's my job, is to care about his training, right? That I make his life easier by caring about, I mean, I'll even like, I give him options, right? I'm like, yo, you could do this, but if you feel like it, you could do this, right? If the time calls for it, you don't want to overdo it, right? You don't want to overthink stuff. Like my man Sean Mills, I don't know if he's in here, but I told him, like, okay, like, how are you feeling? He's like, I accidentally misread something, so I overdid it a little bit on a day. I was like, okay, cool, no worries. I'll adjust the rest of the block, right? You gotta be malleable like that, right? If I didn't care, I would just leave it, and then whatever happens, happens. But you have to make those changes. If somebody comes to me and they say, if I have to give a little extra effort that I'm not going to get paid for to help them, I have to do it, because like I said, your reputation is number one, and you always have to. All that matters is the outcome, right? The result, the win. However you get there, you just got to get there, and you should be passionate about getting there. So when you work within your means and you're passionate about it, you can gain confidence. You could be confident, like maybe you work with like a beginner, but you're very confident that you know more than that beginner and you can truly help them get better. If you could get that beginner to where you are, you can have a sense of confidence, which is going to make you more passionate about it, and you're going to be able to assess and learn and grow together with that lifter and get them to where they want to go. He shouldn't even have to say this. Like, if you're not passionate about it, you don't need to. I mean, I hear Berto talk about, even with bodybuilding. In my opinion, bodybuilding, like, you're just training and dieting, and then you go on stage and you flex, right? Yes, it's an art form and things like that, but he's like competitive about it. He's like, he's passionate about it. He's like, man, if I could get a hold of this guy out, man, we'll fuck some people up. We'll smash some bodybuilding meets, you know what I mean, or competitions, and that's dope, right? That's what you want. You want your coach to be passionate about it. I have a burning desire, you know, to do well with my lifters, especially at a meet where we have a large presence, right? That fires me up. There's like I literally live for that stuff. Pushing limits, breaking, squatting, benching, deadlifting, whatever, hitting records that have never been done before. I love that, and I don't need to pretend that. Okay, put it like this: I hate waking up early. I hate it, right? But I will literally wait. Like I wake up early if I can. If it's not, you gotta be reasonable here. If I've slept 2 hours for 3 nights in a row, I might not be able to wake up the fifth day. But at nationals, I'm up. I'm doing stuff that I wouldn't normally do for anything that I wasn't super passionate about. Um, okay, going into number 4. You want to work with a wide variety of people, and if you can, try to get some in-person time. I can't stress the development of soft skills. Okay, so he's referring more so to uh, like personal training. But this next part down here where he talks about if you're currently training people online and are not going to get a gig at a gym, this is where you would have to, develop people skills. I started out working with, I'm actually very thankful for this experience. I was training my first personal training client when I was 16 years old, and later on I moved into corporate gyms. And I don't know if you guys know how LA Fitness does things, but you work with 2 clients an hour. And I literally dealt with every different type of person: old, young, big, small, male, female, strong, weak, every type of job, everything. And I did that for years, right? And I learned. So, I mean, I was already a very good, all I do is read people's behavior. That's all I do. I'm identifying people. I'm understanding where they're coming from. That's what I try to do. I try to learn more about you. Like, why do you take? Like, what makes you take? Why are you the way that you are? From the moment I shake hands with someone and we're talking, I'm already doing that. My brain is already trying to prod and find out: are you a simple person? Are you motivated by X or Y? Or are you this? Are you a very complex person? Are you like me? Are you trying to read me? Whatever. Da 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 da. I always try to get to the bottom of it. And once you can do that, once you understand where somebody's coming from, it's not just coaching them how to do power lifts, but once you can get in their brain and understand what they do and where they're coming from and what they want out of lifting and how passionate they are, then you know the right things to say to put them in a position to be successful. It's way deeper than just here's a program, do squat, bench, deadlift. It literally goes super next level. And then you start to see the stuff that, when a lifter has full trust in you, they literally will be like, yo, I'm gonna close my eyes and fall, and I know that you're gonna catch me. I mean, there's really not there's not too much you can't get accomplished once you have that. When you truly have their best lifting interest in mind. I mean, I've straight up told people, hey, man, look, I just don't think your life is allowing you to be the lifter that you want to be, and I think you should take a break. You know what I mean? Because you care about them, right? Now it's kind of beyond lifting. It's counterintuitive to what you would think most coaches would want, right? Because I always want to keep making money. But I mean, at the end of the day, and this is something that I have not shared this. I don't even think I've ever said this ever. I always think this though. I think I may have told this to my brother once. When you lose the I'm not desperate, right? I'm not desperate at all. There's no I'm not desperate for money or lifters or anything like that. So I can work so much more comfortably. I can work knowing my worth. I can work knowing, that I don't need to create an unhealthy dynamic between lifter and coach because I want to try to keep them longer. Because I'm so worried about them leaving. If they want to go, they want to go. If things don't work out, then I'll tell you. Trust me, I'll tell you. And that is something that's so rare for I feel like it's very rare for coaches to have that. And for new coaches, obviously, they want to grow, right? So why would they have that if their desire is to grow? So they're going to do everything they can to try to keep people. But what happens is you end up with this unhealthy dynamic where now there's no worth there. The lifter knows, oh, I have this guy in the palm of my hand. I can get him to do whatever. He'll never drop me. Da 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 da. I think what makes me special and what is my lifters know that respect is always there. That respect is always there. Like none of my lifters, like my lifters all respect my time. They understand, you know, that I'm busy. They know that I'm not gonna always answer them immediately. It's gonna every day I wake up, the first thing I do is answer my messages, so they know, okay, if I hit Joey up at night, he'll get to me the next day, and they don't panic, right? They don't worry about it. It's just respecting time, respecting each other, and knowing that Joey has a value, and that I should not ask for special treatment or step on his toes or disrespect him or whatever. Like I'm very fortunate that people, my lifters respect me, and I don't have to deal with some of the things that I hear some of these other coaches deal with. And you just got to set that boundary. It's the same thing with relationships. If you are with a significant other and you let them get away with something over and over and over, they're gonna think it's okay, even though it's not, right? That's all it is, and that just comes down to identifying people's personalities. And I have like a zero tolerance thing for respect. Like if you don't respect me, I refuse to work with you. It's literally that simple. You can't. You literally can't. If you don't believe in the plan, if you don't believe in the best program ever, if you don't believe in it, it's not gonna work out. And it is what it is. And I've gotten very good at identifying this early on. But yeah, you learn those people skills in person. If you're just trying to do things online, you're gonna have some problems that is gonna be weird. Like you're just not gonna, if you didn't learn it the way things are supposed to be learned, right? We're humans. Obviously, we evolved talking to people in person, not on social media. Social media is a new thing, right? It's a way to amplify what you're saying and for people to kind of see things about you that they normally wouldn't have. But yeah, if you don't have that, then and you don't work with a wide variety of people, then you're gonna run into those problems. You're gonna end up working with someone that maybe you have the right plan, but your personalities are not compatible, so you don't get it done. And I have such a diverse group here at Flex, and I'm very, I consider myself an example. I wouldn't be talking to you guys about this if I couldn't be a good example of all these things. But yeah, if you're a new coach, you got to be passionate. You got to work with people that you're qualified to work for. Sustainable growth, making sure you're not taking on too much work at a time or forcing things. Right? I mean, number 3, obviously, we shouldn't even have to say that. And then you want to be diverse. You want to work with a wide variety of people. It's just going to make you better in the long run. And yeah, so, yep, I hope you guys are able to take something away from that. I just wanted to kind of amplify my man Berto's voice here and what he was saying, because I thought I could apply that to powerlifting and kind of give that to this younger generation and show you guys, if you do want to come up, if you are passionate about coaching, it's going to take time. It's not easy. There's already someone that's more established than you, and to compete against that is very difficult, but that doesn't mean that you can't. It's just, it's going to be a lot harder, and, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is a competitive thing, right? If someone, the way I look at it is like, every other coach is a competitor to me, but that doesn't mean we all can't be successful. And if I just do better or like keep showing results, then the people that are down with me, I put up my personality, I show my face, I do things like that. You guys are going to gravitate towards me, and you're going to choose me, right? I don't need to go chase anyone. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I think you should do it. You should just put out information, put out content, attract people that like you to you. There might be people that know, like, yeah, I know Joey will give me a better result, but I just don't like him because he likes anime, and go to someone else. That's perfectly fine. It's going to be your loss in the end, but hey, man, it is what it is, and I totally understand that. But yeah, guys, let me get a hashtag passion in the comments down below. Hashtag passion in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I think it was really deep and informative and useful to those new coaches, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.